Dykes with Gorilla Media, and I'm here today with Diane Westphal of Your Home Watch Professionals. Hi Diane. Thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you, Matt.
Well, so Your Home Watch Professionals, what is that?
Your Home Watch Professionals helps the seasonal resident by minding their home when they're not here. A seasonal residence, it can't be left unattended because things can, will, and do happen. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Gotcha. So, who are you currently servicing?
We're currently in Southwest Florida, and we're definitely the mecca of seasonal residents. as many as 70% of our folks do not live here on a year-round basis. And one of the things that people, from the northern areas don't understand is the tropical climate that we have, and that needs to be respected as such. I'm a Midwesterner. When we would leave home, we would turn off our water, have our sister check the house every now and again. But when you're in the tropics, there's a whole nother set of conditions that can happen.
Gotcha. And so what type of things can happen? I mean, severe?
Very severe. And the thing to point out is that something small can turn into something big. We have the M word here in Florida, the mold word. And it's an interesting thing because when it comes to mold, you don't want to overreact, but you don't want to underreact. Air conditioners do two things. They cool your home and they malfunction. So that's one of the biggest enemies of an empty home. We had a gentleman who's had somebody looking after his home. He would come in every couple weeks to check and make sure all was okay. He came and he noticed it was a little bit more humid than usual, noticed the start of mold going on, and thought, I'll just check it on the next visit. Well, by the time the next visit happened, there was surface mold throughout the house. And in a situation like this, it's at a cost to the homeowner to have it remediated in excess of $30,000 in this case. And people need to know how quickly it can happen. Mold can start to grow in 24 to 48 hours.
Okay.
Another real biggie is water. So I like to have folks think about the damage that has happened to their house when they're there. Anything can happen.
That's right.
And you can have a little leak that turns into a big problem. There's a lot of condominiums in Florida, and any place that there's going to be a seasonal residence. You might be doing everything right, but if your neighbor above has a leak, that kind of trouble can happen. Sometimes, what if your neighbor closes their drain in their sink and there's a little drip of water? Absolutely, positively no big deal in a couple days or a week. But 4, 5, 6 months before they come back, it's going to overflow and it will go all the way down to the neighbors, much less destroying their own home. A lot of things can happen.
Yeah, definitely. I can see that. So tell me a little bit about what makes your company different.
Home Watch is a business where a lot of folks might have a friend or neighbor. A neighbor doing a favor may look after their home. That sounds like a good idea, but they're not trained to know what to look for. Popping in to check things out is one thing, but being trained to methodically visit the home and look for the early danger signs is what it's really all about. I will clearly say to folks that you're going to have something go on in many cases. We have found statistically each summer that up to 30% of our people have something happen. It might be a little something, but a little something left unattended in a long amount of time can become quite a disaster. We don't want to mislead anybody. We're not here to prevent everything. We can't. As I mentioned before, things can happen when you're even there. But we will be the difference between damage and disaster. One of our worst water damages happened when somebody was home and there were renters in the condominium, and luckily somebody got up in the middle of the night and they almost slipped on a puddle of water, and the fitting behind the sink opted to detach itself. And after running for maybe an hour, the place became uninhabitable. They had to bring in the dryers and all kinds of things. And imagine if that person left their seasonal residence in May and didn't come back until Thanksgiving time. It would be total destruction. Another really important thing for folks to know is they should talk to their insurance agent. There could be exclusions in the claim if you have not had your home looked after in your absence. So that's a huge encouragement.
Oh man, so they're actually really lucky that they had a renter in at that point.
Oh heck yeah! Oh heck yeah!
Now I heard a story as you know I was looking through and researching about your company. I heard you saying something about a duck.
Oh, I have a duck story. You can do when you're leaving. Picture when you're going on vacation. What happens when you're leaving your place? It's hectic, it's chaotic, you're going to think that you did everything right, and a family thought they were doing exactly that. They were packing the car, taking all the suitcases out through the garage, did the right steps. They turned off their water, they adjusted their thermostat correctly, everything was locked up, everything was perfect. However, in the chaos of packing the car, nobody noticed that a duck had gone through the garage into the condo. And when they came back home 3 or 4 months later,
No. Oh no. So if someone wanted to find your service and hire you, where can they do that?
On our website, we've got YourHomeWatchProfessionals.com. We've got our contact button. You can reach us there, and you'll get a call back immediately. We, in our structure, have a fine management team that's making sure each specialist is properly trained. And another thing that happens in the world of home watch is that it's sometimes a 1 or a 2 person business.
Sure.
So, and the perception may be that, cool, that's a great level of personal service, but if it's a 2 person business and somebody has an illness or an emergency, they usually don't have a backup plan.
Right.
Because we're working with a team of quality specialists. If you have a list of home watch accounts that you need to visit and something happens, if you break your leg, you're not going to make your home watch visits, we're able to immediately put another specialist into play so no visits ever missed, because we pointed out earlier how quickly damage can happen.
So you have the know-how, you know what to do, and you have the team to back you up.
A team to back us up, and should a situation happen, we know how to take care of it. I will often tell my clients that we're at our best when something bad happens. You may never see us at our best.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us today. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you being here. And hopefully no more ducks. Hopefully
no more ducks.
Deal with that
that's an unusual one, but a tough one. Matt, thank you
so much.
very much.